Live from New York. It's a show that is celebrating the finale of Never a Doubt year.
Yeah.
It's first things first. You're in for a treat.
Sure is.
Today, the season finale. After the game, Mahomes tweeted, just one tweet, I believe.
Yeah.
Never a doubt. Turns
good.
out, you got that tattooed on your arm this summer. A fitting conclusion to the year, and also classic category 2.
Classic
2, bro.
Maybe of the highest form.
Classic 2. Mm-hmm. Was there ever a doubt?
I mean, how could there have been? Ask Patrick, the greatest current living athlete.
Wow.
Ask Andy, the greatest active head coach. Ask Brett Veach, the GM and friend of the show, an emeritus member of the committee who pulled off what I think will be looked back on as the modern-day Herschel Walker trade. In trading Tyreek Hill to get Trent McDuffie, to get the extra pick so they could draft Isaiah Pacheco, and then win back-to-back Super Bowls. And let's talk about that historically great defense, because today everyone's going to give Patrick his flowers, and I will as well. But that defense that snuck up on people despite being consistently great on a level we've literally only seen a few times in NFL history. Never did a team, show the graphic if we could please, score 28 points. So they now join those teams to where they did it every single game of the year. The Chiefs did it 2 more games because the extra game in the season and they didn't have the bye. But those are the only teams in the Super Bowl era to never allow 28 in a game. What about never allow 25 points, or only allow it once, pardon me? The Chiefs will top that list and join those teams. Even with the extra game, they are still clear of the field. So that's the defense that was built through the draft, thanks to the savvy, gutsy Tyreek Hill trade that now Tyreek Hill seems to be the one that regrets a bit, as he is awful nostalgic for days in Kansas City. And then there's Patrick Mahomes, who doesn't start Super Bowls until he's down 10 points. Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowls down double digits. Can we show you him, Brady, and then the rest of the world? He's 3-1. Brady's 2-1. Everyone else in NFL history is 2-47.
Very good.
What about, and it's not just Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes, since this dynasty started, the last 5 years, he and the Chiefs are 5-1 down double digits in the playoffs. Everyone else is 6-48. All this team needed to turn into a juggernaut that beat clearly the hardest path possible, Brew, the 3 other best AFC teams and the best NFC team. When you have that defense and that quarterback, was a little practice. And I tried to tell you all year, all they needed was some practice. So if we may please, drop the first of I Promise mini banners, because practice does in fact make perfect. And I think balloons dropping on your head once again, Brew. Right on you. So yeah, all they needed was a little practice, my friend.
I like that they don't totally.
They're going to be coming for a while. But go ahead.
Again, just like last week or 2 weeks ago, I wasn't sure when you're done. First, I got to say this. So my wife and I, to watch the Super Bowl, we had a few couples over.
Oh,
right?
nice.
And most of them were Chiefs fans. So one couple even had his and her Mahomes and Kelsey jerseys on.
Wow.
All right?
Nice.
So after McCole Hardman, this is ironic. This is why I had to say it. After McCole Hardman's game-winning catch, they said to me, "We came into your house. We even wore Chiefs jerseys.
Yeah.
We ate your food. We talked trash in your house." They did everything but put their feet up on my.
Great job by them.
Yeah,
Great job by that couple.
It was tough to handle after I'd fed them, all right, and talked that all year. But look, Nick, I can't help but give you credit for you stuck with your team all year. However, you know I'm a journalist. I was a reporter for decades.
You were grinding the all-22 for weeks.
Sleeping in the pajamas, underoos. And I have a source who watched the game with you.
Uh-huh.
All right?
Well, that's either my wife, my daughter, or Coach Mangini. There's only 3 people possible.
I'm not saying which one.
Uh-huh.
But I think there were some doubts.
Oh.
I think the first half, especially the first quarter, but the first half, when they outplayed the Chiefs drastically. Now, I was bothered because they had outplayed them so badly and they're only up 3-0. And then 10-3. So I was like, at halftime. So that bothered me, but I think you might have had a few doubts with that. Then in the third quarter, when the Chiefs opened the half with the interception, and the Niners had the ball at their 44, and I'm thinking, because 10-3 obviously is nothing to Mahomes, but I'm thinking, if they go up 17-3, again, you still got a lot of time left.
If only Purdy could have come through in those spots.
Well, Purdy, I ain't mad at Purdy.
If only if he could have
I ain't mad at Brock Purdy.
I'm just saying.
But I'm thinking, okay, then you start running, you count the possessions, maybe that's it. And then here.
Oh.
This was the ball game, I think. 3rd and 4.
Was the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, that was it. Because if there was a 2-minute, a 2-minute mark.
That's right.
If they get this first down, they didn't anticipate the blitz, obviously. Yeah. But if they did, I think they maybe can chew up the clock and kick the field goal.
Who knocked that ball down?
Oh, McDuffie. No, he was fantastic. So I do
Tony
think
Romo
there
told us the blitz was coming. Like,
I know. I wish they
Here
knew.
comes the blitz, Kyle.
All right,
Pay
whether
attention.
that's Kyle or Brock or somebody, I wish they knew. But
here it comes.
Yeah, no, I think there were some doubts, but I got to give you credit, man. The Chiefs, look, Mahomes is just too good. And the defense,
we told you that last week.
We
told you that last week.
I had the courage. Everybody else was just following the leader.
Courage.
Everybody
you
was just following
the
it.
favorite
It was
every
close.
time.
No,
that's not courage.
They should have been the underdog.
But then, if you felt that way, why'd you pick him?
But I thought that they might come through, and they almost did.
All right.
And Brock represented. All right.
So
I'm
go
all
ahead,
right.
Wild.
No, you have one more.
No, so listen, I just think it was because Brew is not incorrect that during the ebb and flow of this particular game, of course there are moments of, oh my God, if they complete this pass, where you feel anxious. That part Brew's not wrong about. But where I think everyone in the world, with a few rare exceptions, was wrong about this Chiefs team was the overwhelming doubt placed at their feet all year when we know they have a coach who is entering the GOAT discussion, and we'll see where he leaves it. A tight end who has exceeded the GOAT discussion and now is 340 yards and 3 touchdowns in the playoffs away from owning all of Jerry Rice's records. He already owns the receptions one. And Patrick Mahomes, who, if we can show you what, as we've done many times, he is already on a per-game basis, on an up-to-this-point basis, the playoff GOAT at the very least, not to mention the 2 MVPs. So if we could drop the next banner, please. When you're the only team in the league with not 1, not 2, but 3 GOATs, how, in what world should you be an underdog in 3 consecutive postseason games?
Wow,
I'm just curious.
Chiefs Kingdom
that's
upset.
The thing. I just got back in Chiefs Kingdom, but that one's testing it. That one is testing it.
Testing it.
And it's your day. We're not going to have any friction in the A-block. That one's, I don't totally co-sign. Meanwhile, Mahomes goes for almost 400.
What's the main reason the Chiefs won?
Well, Bruce showed it. There were 4 defining plays. This was a game. Listen, there were both teams turned the ball over twice. There was, both teams turned the ball in the red zone. But I want to do them in order. This play right here saved the game. If they convert this first down, then we are at the mercy of Jake Moody making a kick. Because you use your first time out there, they can then just run the ball twice, run the ball 3 times, pardon me. Best case scenario is you get the ball back with 25 seconds left. So that's the first one. Trent McDuffie, who again is the player they acquired in the Tyreek trade. The next one is this, an underrated massive moment. That right there is the fastest Travis Kelce has traveled on a field in 7 years.
Really?
The fastest he has gone in 7 years. Yes, by Next Gen Stats. So Travis Kelce saved it for the biggest moment of one of what he called the biggest game of his life. So you have the second rounder Trent McDuffie, the legend Kelce, and then the best defensive player of this team, the entire dynastic run, did the same thing to Purdy did to Josh Allen. You've got someone open, you're not going to be able to hit him. And then Patrick Mahomes, 2 people open and couldn't hit him. This is from Bill Barnwell. So Mahomes obviously hurt his knee on a sneak, and then in the playoffs against Baker and the Browns, remember, got choked out accidentally. The Chiefs had not called a designed Mahomes quarterback run until this game. And they ran it a couple times, and then it's 4th down in overtime, you're trailing. The Super Bowl is on the line. and a legend comes through. And we can pick some other plays. Mahomes had other good scrambles, and obviously there were other big plays in the game. But those 4 plays, Brew, if any one of them doesn't happen, they might not win. If the first or the last doesn't happen, they definitively don't win. That's how they won the Super Bowl, with each of their 4 key cogs making a huge play.
Just quickly before you go, Brew, I have one other thing I want to add. I felt like, and Mahomes said it in the post game, like the Chiefs are never underdogs. And people shouldn't pick against the Chiefs. And you never picked against the Chiefs. I picked against the Chiefs once against the Patriots. It was ill-founded. But I'm back in the kingdom. But, Brew, you picked against the Chiefs against the Bills.
Yeah.
And then you picked against the Chiefs against the Ravens. And you picked against the Chiefs against the 49ers. And you mentioned it before. All the Chiefs did was go into Las Vegas, put their feet up on the couch, and ate some sandwiches. And honestly, treated the 49ers.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
I never should have even made this metaphor.
No.
It's come back to haunt me
Oh, no.
twice
And they
now.
came through.
Both of them.
They treated them like break dancers?
Treated them
Y'all
like,
might
not only that,
supposed to
but
be
they
my
took
dude.
all of your
Oh,
bits,
got all
too.
Oh, no.
It's not only Mahomes vanquishing his rivals, but also Nick vanquishing some of
My
your
takes.
favorite takes.
No.
So it's bad as well. So I just wanted to add that little
I
bit
love the
of
break.
cogent analysis.
We
Wow.
know you love the break
That
dancers.
was great.
So, and we know you love sandwiches. So on a day that we thought could be tough, we wanted to bring them out. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Brooke. Thank
Well-
you, gentlemen. As always.
I will say this. It's interesting because as the playoffs went on,
He's crushing it right now.
he's getting down.
Yeah. Great job,
I mean, just
fellas.
fantastic.
And you see their hats.
That
too,
looked
right
like
there.
me back
Okay,
in
yeah.
we need an
1984.
NBA bit as well.
Back in
We'll see you
1984, I
next
used to do
week.
that stuff. My confidence in the teams I was picking I was certain Buffalo was gonna beat them.
Certain Buffalo.
Yes, and
Oh.
then I was
I was.
a little less certain but I was, I felt very confident about Baltimore.
Oh, I thought it would be the other way.
No,
I thought Baltimore was the
revisionist
most
history here.
I thought Buffalo was going to take them out. I was
Okay.
very confident about Baltimore too, but I was seeing the Chiefs okay, they're starting to come. All right, so I felt the Chiefs were playing better. This game, I obviously had confidence in San Francisco, but I obviously had a lot of worries too. And so, but anyway, they won because of Mahomes.
That's right.
I
So
mean,
let's
and
talk about
let me
it.
give
I wanna
Chris
hear it.
Jones credit. The defense was tremendous. All right, it was a great defensive battle, and I don't want to take anything from Chris Jones and McDuffie and Snead.
Yep.
McDuffie was all over it. Purdy some of those passes had to be absolutely perfect. Like the one, I think it was Debo in the end zone that
Yep.
McDuffie knocked away. Mahomes is just that dude. It's when I watch Mahomes, and look, I gotta reclaim this take.
Oh.
Because
This is your take.
I see Tony Romo.
Oh, yes.
I
Name
see
names.
Damian Woody
Name names.
talking about this is the Michael Jordan of the NFL era. This is the Jordan
Yeah.
era. And I said that 5 years ago after Mahomes' rookie year. Now, he hadn't even won a Super Bowl yet. But when he threw for 50 touchdowns,
After his
5,000
first
yards,
year starter.
his first year as a starter.
Yeah.
I said, this dude is Jordan-esque. And I didn't necessarily expect this type of winning yet, but that he would have this type of winning. And Nick, when I watch Mahomes, and it's not about LeBron, obviously,
Sure.
Jordan debate right now, but I see
If we
why.
could find a way to get that in here, it might really be a ratings bonanza. But go ahead.
You remember, and you brought it up a lot, that Jordan, after winning just 3 championships, was viewed as the GOAT.
It was on the statue.
Right, it's on his statue. Now, granted, that's in Chicago, but still, even before he won 3, people were saying he's the best ever. When I watch Mahomes, I'm reminded of why. Because it's not just about the accomplishments, even though Mahomes obviously has a lot. When you just watch him, he makes things that seemed impossible. Now they're happening. When Jordan, one of my lasting memories with Jordan was I used to watch him and be like, man, a game that used to be over, you're down 15 with 4 minutes left, used to be over. It's not with Jordan. And with Mahomes, I mean, he really only needs 13 seconds, obviously. But if he's got 30 seconds, a minute, whatever, the question is not, is he going to get the field goal to tie it? It's, is he going to get the touchdown to win?
So can I
and I haven't felt that way about anybody before.
I want to stay here just for a minute if we can, because we obviously have more banners and things to do. But this is interesting. because you said, and this isn't me poking you, because I think it was more about the team around him than about what you thought of him during the year, that for the first time in your life watching Mahomes, you didn't expect when they were down 3 and he got the ball for them to come through. When you were watching last night, even though it's not like he had played brilliantly until the very end, in those two circumstances, down 3 with 1:50 left in regulation, and then in overtime when a touchdown wins it, in those moments, did you expect him to come through?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
No doubt. With a minute 50 left, I was just hoping they didn't get a touchdown.
Yep.
All right. And then I wasn't sure he'd get the touchdown in overtime, but I knew they were at least going to.
So there's one other reason, though, Wilds, why the Chiefs won. And it was the story, amazingly, of last year for them at the end, Burrowhead being underdogs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that this year they were doubted all year, and they, if we could, guys, the banner and the bulletin board, because you guys think that the 20-0 was wrong. But count up the eliminations, because we have 6 fresh ones. Jed York, Nicky Bosa, the NFL Quarterback Club, the NFL Honors, Broussard twice. There's 20 eliminations on there. And the Chiefs, of course, outlasted them all.
That's what it was all along.
So the bulletin board went 20-0 this season, and the bulletin board remains undefeated.
It's like the usual suspect.
Exactly right. People thought 20-0 was dead when the Lions beat them, when in reality, it was that loss to the Lions that birthed 20-0.
Wow.
Because without that loss and the tipped pass, there wouldn't have been so many doubters. There wouldn't have been so many questions. There wouldn't have been so many underdog moments. And so the Chiefs were 20. 20 exactly. Imagine how that worked out. Thanks to the Quarterback Club for giving us 19-0. Would have had the exact same, dinner.
All right, so finally, and I can't believe our friends in Las Vegas.
Oh, sweet Jesus, the board.
San Francisco at 1 to win Super Bowl 59. Kansas City at 2. Baltimore, Detroit, Buffalo. Then Joe Burrow, healthy. And then Dak. Is this disrespectful to the 3-time and back-to-back defending champions? It seems absurd.
I mean, I honest to God feel like that, and Andrew Filipponi made this point last night, and he's right, that if Roger Goodell had come to the podium and be like, guys, just so you know, real quick, we're going to actually play all these games again, Vegas would install the Chiefs as underdogs in Buffalo, in Baltimore, and neutral site against San Francisco. So yes, we already have an addition to the 2024 board, and it's the city of Las Vegas and the bookmakers for doing that. But so of course it's disrespectful because the dynasty is locked, and Brew. It's not just now they are going for other type of legendary history, but what they've done over the last 5 years, and we can show it to you, I think, it's quite simply the best 5-year run by a team in the history of the NFL. They are tied with the 14-18 Patriots for the bottom 3 categories. They stand alone on the top on the playoff wins, and the total wins was a team that didn't win 3 Super Bowls. So yes, it's disrespectful, and the dynasty is locked. And now the question is, at what point will this look foolish? And my guess is early next season.
Well, as someone who has disrespected the Chiefs, I know this is disrespectful. I get it. Like they're saying nobody in the history of the league has ever won 3 straight Super Bowls. That's my guess as to why you wouldn't have them favored. But at this point, with the youth on the defense, now we'll see what happens with Chris Jones. Obviously, he's huge. But with the youth of the defense, Nick, I know the receivers came on, and I think it was great poetic justice that McCole Hardman and MVS did catch the 2 touchdowns because they were 2 of the ones that had the drops problems.
Well, McCole wasn't even, you know what I mean? McCole was the one they brought in to help him with the drops.
But he had a few problems.
Yeah, well, he fumbled in the Buffalo game. Yep.
Right. So I would still like to see them go get like a top receiver. Now, maybe they just feel Rasheed do that. But I would like to see him do that. But either way, they should be the favorites. I mean, they just won it in a quote-unquote down year.
Correct.
They should be the favorite.
Brew,
There's no doubt
you're the
about
best.
it.
Brew, you're all the way back.
Brew, you know
Wild
what?
still doesn't
Go
know how
ahead.
to do it.
I get to do what?
Oh,
Yeah,
he gets to do it.
How
I
do
don't
you
know.
do it?
You got to twist it.
Yeah,
Brew, there we go.
yeah.
And you know what? While he's doing it, drop the next
Feels
banner.
good.
Drop the next banner because the dynasty's official.
Whoa, geez,
And,
sorry.
hey,
That was cool.
Don't disrespect the banners.
It was a compliment.
And the three-peats on deck. And Brew, you said some things about Mahomes earlier, like because I don't know what the cross-sport comparison for an NFL three-peat would be. In basketball, I guess people would say it's a four-peat, but that's actually been done. They won 8 in a row.
Right.
I truly believe that Patrick Mahomes has just completed the greatest start to a professional sports career since Bill Russell. Combo of individual accolades, postseason success, and no blemishes. Like, it never missed the playoffs. What we called this the down year. They won the Super Bowl. Last year was the reloading year.
Right.
They won the Super Bowl. Magic was unbelievable immediately, but that was Kareem's team. There was,
You know who actually might be in that? Bird. Because Bird got his 3 titles, I believe, in his first 7 years or so.
Agreed.
And the MVP.
But I think so. The distinguishing factor I would make is this. I don't think when Bird came into the league, people thought his first year starter is the best player. Now, his top 3 MVP, so it's
not
close.
in the league.
In the league. But with Mahomes, his first year as the starter, he won a championship,
Right.
which is why this was so touching yesterday. Patrick Mahomes, we showed at the top of the show, we'll show it again. Patrick Mahomes sent out one social media message.
Pretty good.
He sent a message to the show right after his crowning achievement. So the show should send a message to him in the way we can, rather than a tweet. Dusty, drop the greatest banner
Dusty.
we've ever dropped.
I mean, fantastic.
Please. I mean, it's as good as it gets, and I think there's more.
Just
yeah,
excellent
I mean,
job.
they've earned it. I mean, first back-to-back in 20 years. I mean, kick your feet up, America. Pop some of these. Pretty good. Pretty good. Go ahead. We're all used up. Pretty good. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.